Thank you. Thank you. How's everyone doing? Happy long weekend. Happy Labor Day to everyone. Thank you for coming by over here. My name is Dwit Hathi, and this is Dwit Hathi Quintet. For today, we'd be playing some of my originals, some of the tunes that I wrote, and co-arranged with my bandmates over here. So this song that we just played is a traditional blues form based song, which is called Don't Bother. I wrote this, I guess, for one of my class assignments. I study at Humber. I'm a music student, just about to graduate. So something about writing music is something that we are not just taught, but it's something that comes in handy when we are just trying to sort of, make a mark and make an impression in a school full of people who are like just so good with what they do. And this song kind of helped me to not bother with the competition and not just get bogged down by it. So I named it Don't Bother. For the next few songs of the set, I'd be bringing in a very dear friend of mine who's also be joining us for most of the songs. Please welcome Ethan Zabarillo on tenor saxophone, everyone. Yeah. Yeah. So the next song that we're going to play is a song that I wrote when I was traveling from Toronto to Peterborough on a bus last year summer. Being from India, having to explore other cities except for Toronto and just like being around is something that I always wanted to do, but couldn't do it because of the pandemic, right? It was not the best not the ideal time to sort of travel and commute for anyone. And this was my first time out of Toronto. And I was on this bus, just like crossing through fields and, vast open spaces. And I'm like, wow, this feels really good. And I realized that Peterborough, the town itself, is on an elevation. It's kind of on a hill of some sort. So I wrote a song for that town and for my journey. And the song is called Town on the Hill. Thank you. That song was called Town on the Hill, and it featured Mr. Chris Parnas on upright bass. Big round for him. Awesome. So, a little bit about like how I met these guys and whatnot before we next move on to the next song. And it's kind of, should I say, directly or indirectly related to what the next song is about. I know, I was watching this act last night over here, and like one of my friends was headlining last night, and epic set, amazing. He said this one thing while he was while he was introducing this song, and of course, for us musicians, for every artist in this world, like creating something during the pandemic was like a thumb rule. We gotta create something. Like there was, like even for people who didn't have any association with art and like anything like that, they just felt, okay, I need to do something about this. Write a book, start a podcast, write a song, do a painting, I don't know, whatever. Like start a fitness regime, just do something, attempt something. And I was doing, I was studying through an online format, and it was kind of bleak and everything was, studying art through an online school isn't fun, let me tell you guys. But what kept me going was this hope that, of course, whatever I'm doing right now, whatever I was creating then, I'd be able to share it with a bunch of people, like-minded musicians, should I say, who'd be able to bring it to life, and I'd be able to play my music with them. And that kept me going on. So the next song that we're going to play, the song is called Attempt, and it's kind of directly related to my attempts of not, letting it go during the pandemic, just like because it would have been really hard for, like, it's the last thing anybody would want to do. It's just like, okay, might as well, let it go. So the attempt to keep it going is something that inspired me to write the song. And meeting these guys was not just coincidental because I went to each one of them separately. Like I've been playing with Aaron and Chris since my first year, so it's been around 3 to 4 years, and then Peter and Ethan came by and we forged this group together, which helped us to sort of bring my vision, not only my vision, but their vision to life as well. So a big round of applause to all of my band members for absolutely being these amazing people and musicians, of course. The next song is called Attempt. And give me a minute, I gotta change the guitar. that was heavy. Ethan Zabarilla on tenor saxophone, everybody, and Aaron Blewett on the drums. This song was inspired directly, or should I say, yeah, I mean, directly from this guitar player who I used to, who I started following recently. He is a New York-based guitar player named Rez Abbasi, and he merges, like being from India, I always wanted to create something that would give me sort of the benefit of using my tradition, using the Indian classical tradition that I grew up with, and like infusing jazz in it, or infusing it with jazz. So, that idea actually led me to write this tune, and at first I couldn't make the gist of this tune either. I couldn't understand how this tune went, and like it came with some force, and then it left again, and then came back. So it was a lot of sort of, it was a mixed relationship. Like you have like certain element to your life which you have like a mixed relationship with. You never are either like good friends with it, or you just like, you never hate them completely either. There's always be like love-hate relationship with the song. So this song is called Sea Tide, because that's exactly how I felt. Like I was like, it's coming and it's going, it's never staying in one place, it's never being felt at this one pace, but it still feels natural, because tides are natural. We can't control nature. So this one is called Sea Tide. So the next song is called Sea Tide. This one was not Sea Tide. Sorry. Thank you. Mr. Peter Holbrook on electric piano for now. Awesome. So we have a couple of more songs for you. Again, for those songs, I'd like to invite Ethan Zabarillo on tenor saxophone. And yeah, okay. Yeah, let's give him a big round of applause. He's for sure. So the next song is a song written by our amazingly talented bass player here, Mr. Chris Parnas. He wrote this tune, like we used to play together as a trio, me, Aaron, and Chris, back in like 2019 when I first joined school, and wrote a bunch of songs together. It was more like a sort of a collective, it's a trio, but it still was a collective vibe where like we'd bring each of our tunes and we'd just play and arrange it in a trio format and see how it went. This tune, I think he wrote this when he was still in high school, right? Yeah. So it's, yeah, when he was just 17. So that's like a relatively older tune, but it still sounds really killing, for sure. So the song that we're going to play now is called Sepia Tone Life. And we used to play this as a trio earlier, but I arranged it for my quintet. And here it goes. This one's called Sepia Tone Life. Sepia Town Life by Chris Parnas, Aaron Blewett on drums. Um, so we have, I guess, time for one last song. Um, First of all, before we go into the song, I'd like to sort of mention a quick thank yous to the people who really made this festival possible, of course, and not just that, but of course, you guys as well. So first, let's start off with you guys. A big round of applause for you guys for being here. Thank you so much for spending your afternoon with us and enjoying this. I hope that you're enjoying our set and the long weekend as well. Next up, I'd like to thank the team here, of course, our sound engineer, Mark. He's been doing a great job. So a great round of applause for him and for all the volunteers and the management of TUJF, who's been at it for inspiring and giving platforms to us young musicians and really allowing us to showcasing our talent outside to you guys, in front of you guys. So that. And last but not the least, a quick round of applause for my band here. They've been killing it through the set. We rehearsed, I guess, like a week before the gig and running busy schedules and whatnot, but they still have internalized the music, and I'm so proud and I'm so lucky to have been sharing the stage with them. So I'll start off with, on my left here, we have Ethan Zabarilla on tenor saxophone. Woo! Christopher Parnas on upright bass and compositions as well. Aaron Blewett on the drum kit. Peter Holbrook on piano. My name is Dwit. Thank you. And the next song, which is also going to be our last song for the set, for the evening, is a song that it's the very first song that I wrote, like I actually ever wrote. And that was when I first came to Toronto. Everything around me in my life changed after I moved over here. That's the beauty of the city. It just takes you in and makes you its own. And it's been like it was so welcoming since the beginning, and now it just, of course, it feels like home because I've been here since a while now. So this song reminds me of that time when I had first just landed and had limited people, limited resources, but an abundance of creativity, an abundance of compassion, an abundance of this will to play with more people, to connect with more musicians and like-minded people, be it like anyone and everyone. So this song is called By the Lake because that was my first day that I landed here. I went to Lake, which is right next to my college, or should I say my college is right next to the lake. But that was my first evening. I spent my first evening there, and I was, just awestruck by it, by the magnitude of it, by the beauty of the city, looking at the city by the lakeshore. So this song is called By the Lake. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a great evening, everyone.